that opening. They killed Malcolm. They killed Fred. Man, it doesn't ease you in. It just slaps you in the face right out of the gate, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's an immediate gut punch.
Yeah.
And that's the signal right there about D.L.B's revolution now.
Yeah.
This isn't like a passive listening experience.
In a way.
And, we're not approaching it as just some typical song review. This feels more like a reckoning.
A reckoning, yeah. A deep dive into the raw impact. And honestly, the profound questions this track stirred up. For us, definitely, but for a lot of people, it seems.
That's exactly it. That's a perfect way to frame it. Our mission today really is to unpack Revolution now, to pull out the most important insights, the understandings that just kind of bubble up from his powerful, unapologetic message.
Right. We're not just ticking off lyrics. We're exploring the song's core claims, its defiant spirit, and just the sheer emotional weight it carries. It's about asking, what does it really mean to listen to art that just refuses to be ignored?
And what we found, diving in, is there's just a ton of material here. I mean, beyond the lyrics themselves, we got into the historical context, the figures they name, the really sharp critiques of today woven through it, and maybe most telling, the reactions. Wow.
Oh, the reactions, yeah. Diverse is putting it mildly. Explosive sometimes.
Completely. A full spectrum. From people just shutting it down immediately to others feeling this, profound connection.
And for us, doing this deep dive, it wasn't some, detached academic thing.
Not at all.
This conversation, this whole exploration, it came from really spending time with the song, letting those bars just sink in, feeling the weight of every single word. It's got to be engaged, right? It's visceral.
That engagement is key, absolutely critical to even starting to grasp the song's intent. Our aim here is to explore its core assertions like we're hearing them for the first time almost.
Yeah, fresh ears.
Dissecting that raw honesty, the implications, without a tutter, without bringing our own stuff to it beforehand. It kind of demands that level of unfiltered attention because, it refuses to be subtle.
Okay, let's jump right into that opening salvo then, because like you said, hits like a freight train. Second one.
Right away.
Man, they killed Malcolm, they killed Fred. Anyone who dared to dream, they left for dead. The visceral impact, it's immediate. It doesn't just hint at historical grievance, it screams it.
It really does.
It screams perceived systemic oppression right from the jump. Sets this incredibly urgent, confrontational tone.
Precisely. What's fascinating right off the bat is how it grounds itself in this really specific, really painful history. It's almost like activating emotional triggers.
Yeah.
And when you think about Malcolm X, his rise, this powerful voice for Black empowerment, self-defense, that direct, uncompromising resistance to white supremacy.
Right. Initially with the Nation of Islam, then shifting.
That's exactly. Shifting more global, Pan-Africanist, unity across the diaspora, his assassination, 1965, only 39. That becomes central to this idea in the song, this seeing the matrix thing.
Seeing the matrix.
That chilling idea that there's this underlying system of control, and telling the truth, especially truth that challenges power, it gets met with deadly force. That line, ban the truth, silence the youth. It's not just words, it echoes this perceived effort to eliminate those voices.
And then, boom, no pause, right next to Malcolm is Fred Hampton. Why Fred Hampton? Why that specific pairing, do you think?
Well, it's deliberate, hugely impactful. Fred Hampton, the deputy chairman of the Illinois Black Panther Party, such a dynamic figure. His activism was so focused on racial unity, community programs, the free breakfast, the clinics.
The Rainbow Coalition, right?
That was radical, incredibly radical for the time, bringing together oppressed groups, white working class folks, Puerto Ricans, others across racial lines, fighting poverty and justice together.
And the way he died.
Yeah, the material we looked at, it emphasizes the undeniable fact. Assassinated. FBI, Chicago Police, 1969. While sleeping. He was 21.
21.
Putting his story right next to Malcolm's. It's not just about one death. It underscores the systematic nature of it all, like a targeted eradication of movements, of leaders.
So, okay, the significance of pairing them, Malcolm and Fred. Different philosophies, different approaches in some ways, right? Malcolm's maybe more confrontational rhetoric, Fred's focus on unity, community building. But the song slams them together and suggests this terrifying pattern.
An inevitable pattern almost.
Yeah, power reacts to fundamental threats no matter how they come. Militant self-defense, community organizing, even peaceful vision later on. It's if you challenge the system at its core, fundamentally...
It doesn't matter how.
Doesn't matter how. It'll be met with deadly force.
And that forces a really uncomfortable question on you, the listener, right? It doesn't matter how you resist if the system's response is going to be the same. The song implies, maybe for some, any genuine revolutionary dreaming, any organizing, regardless of the method, direct confrontation or building solidarity, it's seen by the powers that be as an existential threat. It's not about your tactics. It's about the danger you pose to the hierarchy.
Wow, that's heavy, deeply unsettling. Challenges how you think about progress.
It really does.
And it doesn't stop there. The song keeps going, expanding this pantheon of resistance, brings in Huey Newton. Huey had the courage to fight for the streets. That evokes something different again, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Huey Newton, co-founder of the Black Panther Party in Oakland. He definitely expands the song's idea of resistance, specifically organized self-defense, direct community empowerment.
Right, the armed self-defense against police brutality wasn't just...
It wasn't aggression. It was framed as a right, protecting Black communities from systemic violence. He was key to that 10-point program, demanding freedom, jobs, housing, ending police brutality, all of it.
So his inclusion broadens it from speeches and organizing to, like, direct action, asserting power in the street.
Meeting force with force, yeah. When other options are gone, it adds that dimension.
Then it pivots powerfully to Angela Davis. Angela stayed solid while the system tried to break her. But a cage can't hold what's born to be greater. Feels like a shift from the physical confrontation.
It does. And what's so resonant with Angela Davis is how her story highlights both the huge personal cost of dissent, but also this unyielding conviction that can actually transcend prison.
Yeah.
She's not just an activist. She's a scholar, an author linked with the Panthers, the Communist Party. Her advocacy for prison abolition, racial justice, intersectional feminism.
Yeah.
It made her a huge target.
The trial in the 70s.
Exactly.
Arrested.
Accused in that courtroom shootout case, then acquitted after this massive public campaign.
Yeah.
Her resilience, what the song calls staying solid while the system tried to break her, it highlights the power of ideas, of spirit. It suggests the conviction that even if they cage you, your ideas, your spirit, they persist, they grow beyond the cage. Like true revolution happens in the mind, the heart. Uncontainable.
Uncontainable. I like that. And then kind of feels like out of left field almost, Marcus Garvey. Garvey spoke truth, they shipped him away. That's a different kind of suppression again, right? Not assassination, not prison.
Yeah, Garvey's inclusion broadens the tactics of suppression again. Jamaican-born, Black nationalist, Pan-African leader, founded the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, huge mass movement.
Promoting Black economic independence, racial pride.
The whole Back to Africa movement inspired millions. His deportation from the U.S. in 1927, after that mail fraud conviction everyone agrees was politically motivated, it perfectly captures that theme, suppressing truth that challenges power, not just with violence or jail, but with legal tricks, bureaucracy, ways to remove you, disempower you, erase your voice.
To ship you away?
Literally ship you away. Exile. Removing the threat from the physical space of the struggle. Another tool in the toolbox.
Then the song goes global. Nelson Mandela. Mandela did the time, but his chains never stayed. Brings in that massive fight against apartheid.
Mandela's story is so profound here because it brings in the long struggle, immense perseverance, and eventually hard-won victory against what seemed totally unbeatable.
27 years.
27 years resisting that brutal white minority rule. His release, his role in that peaceful transition to democracy, won the Nobel Peace Prize for it. It adds this layer of, well, eventual triumph.
A layer of hope, maybe.
Definitely a layer of hope within the defiance, a testament that justice can prevail. Even after all that suffering, oppression, those impossible odds, it suggests the arc can bend towards justice if you sustain the fight.
And then right alongside Mandela, Che Guevara, Che led the spark global flames from the struggle. Now Che, Marxist revolutionary. Cuba feels different from the U.S. struggles we've mainly talked about. Why Che seems almost out of place at first glance.
Well, this is where the song really signals its universal message, I think. Che Guevara, Argentinian, key role in the Cuban Revolution with Castro, advocating anti-imperialism, class warfare across Latin America, Africa.
A Marxist view sees history as class struggle, right? Overthrowing oppressive systems.
Exactly. Including him broadens the lens way beyond just U.S. issues. It connects American struggles for liberation to this global tapestry of resistance against all kinds of systemic power, colonialism, economic exploitation, political oppression, you name it.
So it's saying this fight isn't isolated, it's universal.
It's a universal urge for freedom. This fire of revolution. It's not just here, it's burning everywhere. That's the implication.
And as we get closer to now, the song includes Martin Luther King Jr. and Malala Yousafzai. Martin had a vision, they left him undone. And Malala took a bullet, but she still stood tall. They feel a bit different from the others, maybe less overtly revolutionary in the usual sense.
They do add different angles, crucial nuance. King, obviously the icon of nonviolent civil rights, powerful voice for equality through peace. But the song's phrasing, they left him undone, by assassination. It highlights that violent interruption of even peaceful progress.
Sobering note.
Yeah, a tragic reminder that even celebrated nonviolent movements can be brutally stopped by those resisting change. Malala, though, brings it right into the present ongoing struggles.
Her fight for girls' education. Surviving the Taliban.
At 15, and becoming this global advocate, youngest Nobel laureate, she's a living contemporary symbol of courage against extremism, against denying basic rights. Her story links those past struggles directly to today's fights. Shows the battle for dignity, for freedom. It's far from over. Echoes across time and place.
So, okay, pulling it all together, this idea of these figures as code keys, what's it all mean for us listening? What's the song really doing by dropping these specific potent names one after another?
What's really going on, I think, is that invoking these names is like, it's an invitation to unlock these suppressed stories, these critiques of the system.
Right.
It's deliberately challenging the dominant history we get taught.
Yeah.
Urging you, the listener, to question it, to see the patterns. It's not just listing heroes, it's saying, dig deeper. Look at the perspectives that got pushed aside, twisted, ignored.
Saying these past struggles aren't just history?
They're blueprints. Vital blueprints for understanding today power, control, resistance. These aren't just names. They're the code keys to why things are the way they are now and how power consistently reacts to being fundamentally challenged. You got to revisit the past to get the present.
Absolutely. Sets that historical stage so powerfully. Shows this continuum. Resistance, suppression, resistance. Okay, let's shift gears then. D.L.B's critique of modern America. Because, wow, the song does not pull punches about right now. That line, America crumbles while Elon plays God, jumps right out. Such a striking indictment.
It really does. And it's remarkably effective. The song seems to use Elon Musk as this, like, potent symbol. Maybe not just him, but the whole phenomenon, right?
Yeah, what phenomenon?
This unchecked, almost absolute influence that tech billionaires can wield now. We see it, right? Private empires, driven by one person's ambitions, rivaling governments, little democratic oversight.
Impacting economies, politics, owning the platforms where we talk.
Exactly. Shaping the future, shaping public perception. It's a deep critique of a system that lets that much undemocratic power concentrate in so few hands, often driven by personal ideology, not public good. It slams the lack of accountability when they buy platforms, reshape free speech, define progress for millions.
It makes you wonder, right? Is it just about one guy, or is the song hitting at something way bigger, a systemic thing that allows this? What does it mean for us, regular folks, when private power rivals government power?
Oh, it's absolutely about something bigger. It's systemic. That lyric indicts the power structures, economic, political, tech, that enable that influence. It points to this critical vulnerability in society now, where tech and economic power can just overshadow democratic governance, raises huge questions about accountability, transparency, who's really driving the bus.
A huge imbalance. Wealth equals power, and the innovator myth, excuses.
Excuses a lack of accountability, like brilliance justifies anything. It asks us to really look hard at the foundations of our economy, our tech landscape.
And the song doesn't stop there. Direct political jabs, too. Right into the halls of power. Trump reacts wild, his logic seems flawed, hates in the White House feeding more divides. Pretty direct assessment there.
Very direct. And, you know, it's important we remember we're dissecting the song's perspective here, reporting on its content impartially, not taking sides ourselves.
Right, crucial point.
Within the song's whole America crumbles narrative, these lines are like specific examples of perceived leadership failure. From the song's viewpoint, these actions called erratic, divisive devices, they directly contribute to instability, worsened divisions. It's documenting what it sees, pointing fingers at who it thinks is responsible for the crumbling, suggesting the very top is complicit.
Then there's this recurring theme, censorship, digital suppression, especially the TikTok stuff. It repeats, right? TikTok banned, but the real threats thrive. And later, TikTok's banned, but the lies still play. This isn't just about one app, is it?
No, way beyond one app. It raises this fundamental, really concerning question about information control. Now, in the digital age, the song isn't just whining about a platform ban.
Mm-hmm.
It's suggesting those actions, maybe framed as security, might just be surface-level distractions, dodging the deeper, more insidious problems. Misinformation, propaganda, selective narrative control.
So implied censorship can be used selectively.
Yeah, to maybe suppress inconvenient truths, critical voices, while other manipulations, other lies, keep going strong on maybe more established platforms. It forces you to ask,
Hmm.
who are the gatekeepers of truth online? And why are these channels threats, while others, maybe just as problematic, get a pass? It's a critique of double standards in information control.
So it's asking that fundamental question,
Oh,
whose information gets controlled and why? Not just the app, but the power dynamics of truth itself.
precisely. The power dynamics of information flow, how dominant narratives get enforced, even in what's supposed to be an open digital space. The song suggests this deliberate shaping of public understanding, where what's dangerous or what's truth is dictated by power, maybe at the expense of real discourse, critical thought.
Hmm.
It implies a systemic effort to manage perception, not fix root problems.
And then, man, one of the rawest lines, confronting immigration policy with that gut-wrenching image. Immigration bans, they cage the kids. Tell me how the F is this how we live? That just hits incredibly hard.
It does. This line brings this incredibly raw, human element to the systemic critique, moves from abstract policy to just painful reality,
Yeah.
connecting those big decisions directly to the lives of the most vulnerable. That imagery, kids in cages, it's designed to make you feel the dehumanization, highlights the deep moral dimension. So it's just these aren't just political choices, they're ethical atrocities.
The song's saying these aren't isolated things.
Not isolated incidents, not unfortunate side effects, but integral parts of a larger system that needs radical change. Not just tweaks, not policy adjustments. It refuses to let you look away from the agony, forcing you to confront what it sees as the moral bankruptcy of the system. Grounds the whole idea of revolution right there in real human suffering.
Takes the abstract policy and just makes it painfully real. Grounds the revolution right there.
Absolutely. Makes the political intensely personal, shows the rot isn't theoretical. It has devastating human costs.
And finally, in this critique section, it targets the media. While the media hides the blood on their walls, this is where it gets really interesting. Implying deep complicity. What's being silenced? What's obscured in plain sight from the song's perspective?
It's a powerful, unsettling metaphor, isn't it? Blood on their walls clearly suggests profound media complicity. It implies that media outlets, they're not just unaware of injustices, suffering, systemic harm. They know, but actively choose not to report it. Not fully, not truthfully, not with the urgency it demands. And in doing that, the song argues, the media becomes part of the problem, not a neutral observer, not a watchdog.
It controls the narrative.
Control the narrative. Sanitized brutal realities end up maintaining the status quo by suppressing inconvenient truths or framing them in ways that minimize the impact, obscure the origins. It's a direct accusation. The media, instead of being this pillar of democracy giving transparent info,
Becomes part of the obfuscation.
exactly, actively participating in hiding the realities of power, suffering, systemic violence from us, suggesting what's not reported or how it's reported is just as important as what is.
So it's alleging the media is basically a co-conspirator, actively or passively keeping us uninformed or, worse, misinformed.
That's precisely the song's claim, that the media, in what it picks, what it downplays, what it hides completely, can become a tool of power, not an independent fourth estate. It's a deeply cynical view of mainstream info channels, sees them as integral to the system the song thinks is failing, perpetuating injustice.
Okay, wow. Which brings us perfectly to maybe the most unambiguous, defiant, honestly shocking stance in the whole song. Those lines in parentheses. This ain't about forgiveness. This ain't about reform. It's such a blunt rejection.
This really is the song's core declaration. And yeah, it's designed to be jarring. You can't overstate the significance of that blunt, unambiguous rejection of incremental change. It implies the system is seen as so fundamentally broken,
Beyond fixing.
so inherently unjust, so deeply corrupt, that adjustments, negotiations, forgiveness, they're pointless. It's a complete refusal to play quiet or engage in what it sees as just futile gestures, superficial change. It suggests any reform attempt just patches up a flawed structure, prolongs the injustice instead of ending it.
So what's that mean for us listening? It's not just rejection, it's a declaration. I remember seeing creator notes calling it a middle finger to reform. That's incredibly strong for an artist to say, especially now when so much is about incremental change.
It is strong. And it connects straight to other lines, right? Yep. Fuck this system, we'll burn it for proof. This isn't about dialogue compromise. It's a complete, unreserved call for revelation.
Full stop.
Full stop. Advocating for a total overhaul, radical transformation. Not negotiation, not reconciliation, not gradual tweaks. It's a stance rooted in belief. The existing framework is irredeemable, must be dismantled.
And the historical figures become proof.
From this perspective, yeah. They become proof that reform failed repeatedly, that peaceful or incremental change attempts were met with violence, deliberate undermining. So for the song, the only path left is fundamental rupture. Refusing futile gestures, demanding a radical reimagining of everything.
It's a middle finger to the status quo, daring us to see the fire is already burning, not a warning, like you said, an observation, documenting what's already happening.
Exactly. It shifts the whole way you engage, from waiting for something to recognizing what's already in motion.
Which leads us to maybe the most pivotal line in the whole track, the one that really captures that defiant spirit. Revolution's not coming, it's here. And the creator notes emphasizing it's documenting the present, not warning about the future. How does that assertion just fundamentally shift the song's whole perspective, its impact?
This is exactly where it shifts from prediction or warning to just a declarative statement about now. It's asserting that a state of revolution may be through social movements, shifts in consciousness, ongoing resistance. It's not some future thing to wait for or fear.
It's present reality.
It's present reality, already unfolding around us. The song forces you to look around, open your eyes. See, this isn't a forecast, not a storm coming. It's happening right now, whether you see it or not. It positions itself as capturing, amplifying the energy of this moment, reflecting a reality it perceives as already underway, like the simmering discontent finally boiled over.
Suggesting the preconditions are met, the process is already moving. It's saying, open your eyes, this isn't a forecast, it's what's happening now. Makes the song feel less like prophecy or just one person's rant, and more like a mirror.
Yeah, a mirror.
Reflecting unspoken truths, frustrations felt collectively, articulating a shared experience.
And that reinforces that idea from the notes, right? A collective scream more than a personal anthem. It aims to capture, amplify that diffuse energy of the moment, synthesize all these individual frustrations into one coherent, powerful voice.
Not just one person's anger.
No, it's distilling a shared simmering rage.
Yeah.
Giving it form, expression. It becomes a mouthpiece for this broader feeling, reflecting what it sees unfolding across society.
And you feel that collective resistance so strongly in those lines about unity, resilience. We rise from the ashes, our spirits won't tire, we don't kneel, we don't fade, we rise. Revolution's alive in the fire in our eyes. It turns from observation into this powerful anthem for that feeling.
And what's fascinating there is how those lines become this direct rallying cry, a potent anthem of solidarity for anyone who connects with the message, emphasizing strength in numbers, refusing to give up, this deep, defiant resilience against perceived oppression. The way they're written encourages you to see yourself as part of something bigger than just your own grievance, a movement already alive, already moving, fueled by a collective fire.
Finding that shared spark.
Yes. Finding it in yourself, recognizing it in others, fostering unity, shared purpose among those who feel the world is crumbling. It's a powerful call to consciousness, to collective action.
This ain't about one voice. It's the chorus of those refusing silence. It's powerful. And it's an invitation, really.
Indeed. An invitation to recognize the revolution, the song says, is already here, and to be part of it.
Okay, so we've hit the history, the modern critiques, that defiance stands. But we got to talk about the public reckoning. Art, this raw, this direct, it never gets universal praise, right? This track clearly hit a nerve all over the place.
Oh, it certainly did. Art that confronts. It rarely finds everyone agreeing. And the reactions we looked at, perfect illustration, a whole vivid spectrum. Outright hate, dismissal to deep, deep resonance. Sometimes from really unexpected corners.
Let's start at the extreme end, because some people came in hot, immediate, visceral rejection. I saw stuff like trauma bait, others saying aggression cosplay, or just dismissive. Same recycled bars, fake deep, next. And some got personal, right? Like, y'all treat Daniel Bates like he's Jesus with a beat machine. He's just a SoundCloud activist. What do those reactions tell you? That immediate friction?
Well, those comments show this strong, often really emotional, just outright dismissal. of the song, the message, everything. They question the artist's authenticity, the song's depth,
Hmm.
frame it as performative, insincere, or just old ideas without real insight or struggle behind them.
The SoundCloud activist jab.
Yeah, that tries to diminish the messenger, to invalidate the message, right? Suggesting the artist lacks the lived experience, the credibility to even speak on these heavy things. As a quick pushback, a refusal to even engage with the discomfort the song wants to create. Just outright rejection, labeling it rage bait, usually comes from either deep disagreement with the politics or just an unwillingness to face the harshness it depicts.
Then you have the middle ground. People may be more neutral or divided at first, but still clearly impacted. Like that one comment, I don't even know who D.L.B is, FR, but this song made me Google Fred Hampton. So there's that. That's pretty significant, right? Even if they had mixed feelings, the content itself sparked something.
That comment is incredibly telling. It highlights the song's undeniable power to educate, even if accidentally. It shows that despite maybe personal reservations about the artist, their style, whatever,
Yeah.
the sheer force of the message, those specific historical callouts, they can cut through the noise.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't know the artist to feel compelled to research Fred Hampton, someone largely missing from mainstream history, it shows the song worked as that code key. It provoked curiosity, critical engagement with suppressed history, proves the content itself can transcend skepticism about the messenger. It was a catalyst for learning. That's impact.
And then the other end, the real ones, as you put it, those who resonated deeply, felt every bar like it was speaking their frustration. Comments like, this ain't a song, this is a thing reckoning.
Powerful.
And D.L.B said what needed to be said, no sugarcoat, no industry filter, raw truth. These show that profound emotional, ideological connection.
Those who gave that kind of deep support, they clearly connected with the anger, the urgency, the uncompromising stance, felt it as this unvarnished, necessary reflection of their own feelings, their perception of reality. Another really powerful one we saw was, if you're uncomfortable, it's working. That's the point.
Wow.
That shows such a deep understanding of the song's intent. Provoke, disturb, challenge complacency. Not entertain, not soothe. For these listeners, the song wasn't just rage. It was validating a shared anger, articulating this collective sense that things are fundamentally broken. They saw it as necessary, period. Because it spoke a truth other voices maybe couldn't or wouldn't say so rawly. It's proof the song could forge this powerful, almost spiritual connection. Listening becomes shared understanding, solidarity.
It's just fascinating how one piece of art sparks such a wide, often contradictory set of emotions interpretations. Really proves the power of expression, even when it's divisive. And it brings us back to that creator note emphasis.
Yeah.
Focus on the themes, the message, not the artist profile.
And that raises that crucial message versus messenger question again. Always a challenge with art, especially political art. Some critiques of the artist SoundCloud activist show how hard it is to separate art from creators, especially now online. Yet, the fact that others found the message necessary, period, regardless of how they felt about the artist, that powerfully reinforces the song's aim. Ignite thought, reflection on the issues themselves, independent of who's saying it.
Yeah.
Suggests for many, the message's urgency, its resonance, it just transcended any feelings about the artist's persona.
Okay. So now, after sitting with this, really dissecting the history, the raw critiques, the defiant rejection of reform, the whole revolution is here assertion. How do you feel about D.L.B? Not the profile, not the hype or hate, but the voice behind this track, the entity that made this thing.
For me, the voice behind Revolution Now, it feels like a vital conduit. It's raw. Unflinching, unapologetic in a way that just cuts through the noise. It's not trying to be palatable, easy to swallow. It's trying to be profoundly true to the anger, the frustration, the urgency it embodies. You know, in a culture where dissent often gets sanitized or commodified or intellectualized until it loses its teeth, this voice feels necessary because it refuses to be anything but direct, confronting. It's loud, piercing, unapologetically refuses to be quiet. It feels like the voice of the revolution it claims is already here.
I feel that too, deeply. It's a voice that doesn't ask permission, doesn't apologize for making you uncomfortable. It stands against that whole idea of protest fatigue or the cynicism around rage bait. It's not performing. It feels like it's trying to ignite something. Feels like a direct descendant of those figures it names, carrying that same urgent, defiant energy forward. It's not background music, definitely not an easy listen. It's a wake-up call. Demands attention, demands reflection.
So yeah, wrapping up this deep dive, we went from those historical figures, Malcolm, Fred, Angela, Chia, all of them, seeing them not just as names, but as those code keys, unlocking suppressed stories, systemic patterns. We moved through the song's contemporary critiques, power, truth suppression, deep injustice in modern America, and landed on that central, defiant declaration. Revolution is here, not coming. A blunt rejection of reform. A visceral call for radical transformation, emphasizing collective resistance in a world it sees as crumbling beyond patching up.
Which leaves us with a question, maybe for you listening, to sit with after this is over. If this song sees itself as documenting right now, a snapshot of an ongoing revolution, what parts of our world today might future artists look back on? What struggles will they invoke? What names will they call out in their own defiant anthems down the line?
And maybe even more immediately, more personally, what truths do you see being suppressed right now? What narratives feel controlled, distorted in your own experience? Understanding those links, past struggles, present moment, those patterns of power and resistance, it feels more crucial than ever just navigating the world today.
Absolutely. Revolution music ain't supposed to make you comfortable. It's supposed to wake your ass up.